Rob, what is our fifth main topic today?
Well, John, our fifth main topic comes to us from Galactic Champ. Well, John, it looks like the DCEU is set to face another wave of delays, and it is just confirmed by Deadline that Shazam 2 has been delayed to March 17th, 2023, whereas Aquaman 2 has been delayed to December 25th, 2023. Shazam Director David Sandberg welcomes the delays as he emphasizes on the December date Avatar 2 had booked all the IMAX PLF screens, which could have tremendously affected the box office, whereas Aquaman is now set to release after the Flash film. John, do you think these delays will benefit the DCEU in the long run in terms of securing a bigger box office? Thanks, and bring on the filthy.
The sun rises, taxes need to be paid, and DC movies get delayed. It is just the rotation. It's the circle of life, Rob. It's the circle of life that we live in here. Yeah, news came out yesterday with thunder that Aquaman 2 had been delayed again. And Shazam 2 had been delayed again. But as our question asker brings up, could this actually be a good thing? Maybe, depending on your point of view. I mean, look, first of all, let's look at the story here. This comes to us from the folks over at Variety, who wrote the following. Deadline has learned that James Wan's Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom needs more time in post-production. So it's moving from March 17th, 2023 to December 25th, 2023. You'll remember the first Aquaman movie was released during Christmas of 2018 and made $335 million domestically and worldwide as one of the $2 billion grossing DC pictures alongside Todd Phillips' Joker. To backfill that March 17th space that Aquaman was now leaving open, and also to capitalize on an Avatar-less March, David F. Sandberg's Shazam! Fury of the Gods will be moving off its December 21st release date and heading to Aquaman 2's old date. Look how great the Batman was with its March opening with $134 million and finalizing at $369.3 million domestically alone. Another thing, Shazam 2 will have access to IMAX screens on its new date, a premium ticket format that Disney will otherwise be sopping up this December with Avatar: The Way of Water. Okay, so let's look at the two different movies and their scenarios. Let's start with Aquaman because that's the one that kicks really all of this off. I was reminded last night, you would remember this, I didn't, but at CinemaCon, during the DC and Warner Brothers presentation, James Wan said something that I'd completely forgotten about. And that was, I'm not 100% sure we're going to have the film ready in time. And all of us, I think, like myself included, I just kind of let that wash away. I say, oh, obviously it's going to be ready in time. So I completely forgot. I was talking to one of our mutual friends last night in the industry who reminded me of that. Said, like, John, don't you remember at CinemaCon, James Wan said, I'm not even sure this movie's going to be done in time. Now, Rob, actually, when the news first broke, you and I were together when we first read the news that they delayed it. The very first thing you said to me, you reminded me that you have been saying for a while that don't underestimate the backlog of work with the VFX pipeline right now. It is backed up like crazy
for all these movies.
For all of these movies. And so Deadline, which was the story, which is the trade that broke this story, said they just weren't going to be ready in time. And you know what? When you ask the question about could it be a good thing, they always wanted Aquaman to come out in a Christmas season because that's when the last Aquaman movie came out, made $1 billion at the box office. That's when they always wanted it. So they probably looked at this and said, okay, I mean, if we're not going to have it done, we'll move it to Christmas and that's where it's going to live. So there's that. With Shazam, it then became an opportunity because they were going to be going up against Avatar, which you and I both think was fine because there's a lot of business to go around during the Christmas season. A lot of business.
A lot of water.
A lot of water to be spilled over that bridge. But one of the things that neither you and I considered that is in the report is that guess who booked all the IMAX screens? Avatar has all the IMAX screen books. So Shazam! Fury of the God wouldn't be able to play on any IMAX screens. So I'm sure if you're Sandberg, you're the director saying, okay, one, we don't have to go head to head with Avatar. And two, we get to have IMAX screens. This is probably a big win. And for Shazam 2, it's not that big of a move. It's only a couple of months, so it's not that big of a deal. But while all that may be true, it's still not a good look. This is what, the third time Aquaman has been delayed, maybe 4th. I can't quite remember or keep track.
And Shazam just keeps hopscotching around the schedule.
And again, for Shazam, this is probably better news than anybody else. Like for Shazam, again, you don't have to go up against Avatar. You get IMAX screens. It's only a couple of months. It's not that big of a deal for Shazam. But it's the Aquaman thing, like delayed yet again. But hey, if you're not going to be ready, you're not going to be ready. They probably could have moved this from like March to August and gotten a summer release, but they seem like they really wanted it as Christmas. Hey guys, we want to take a second to thank the sponsor of this video, Ryan Reynolds, and specifically his delightful company, Mint Mobile. So look, after years of fine print contracts and getting ripped off by big wireless providers, if we've learned anything, it's that there's always a catch. So when I first heard that Mint Mobile offers premium wireless starting at just $15 a month, I thought, what's the catch? But after talking to them and using their service, it all made sense. There isn't a catch. And guys, this is no joke. I have been using Mint Mobile for months now. And on top of the fact that I'm spending literally about 1/3 every month of what I was spending on my former major carrier, I've discovered no decline in my service. I kept my phone number and I was able to keep my phone. The switch from my old service to Mint Mobile couldn't have been easier and saved me more money. And the best part for anybody who just hates their phone bills is that Mint Mobile offers premium wireless for just $15 a month. All of their plans come with unlimited talk and text plus high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and keep your same phone number along with all your existing contacts. To get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month and get the plan shipped to your door for free, go to mintmobile.com/Campea. That's mintmobile.com/Campea. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/Campea. Anyway, Rob, with all this information flooding in, you look at this, how do you see it?
Well, I mean, obviously with Aquaman, dude, I can't even imagine the effects load on this film because the first movie was insane. The effects work was insane. I would imagine there's probably very few shots in the film that aren't special effect shots. So you're probably looking at 2,000 shots. And I can see exactly, when Sonic 2 was going to come out, the Paramount executives were wondering if they were going to be able to make their release date obviously Sonic is a CG character, but they were worried they weren't going to hit the date because they couldn't finish the effects. But a movie like Aquaman, and you think about what's being done, you've got all of the superhero movies require effects work. Then there's movies like Avatar. There's only so many places on Earth that can do this kind of effects work at this level. So I'm sure
there's been more demand for it right now than ever before, compounded with the delays because of the pandemic production. It's created a huge clog in the pipeline.
And even the TV that's being done.
Yeah.
How many effect shots are on TV now with all these genre shows?
With Foundation. And,
the Star Trek shows, She-Hulk, the Marvel stuff, I can't even imagine. I mean, I'm sure they've got like effects houses in Pakistan, who a friend of mine worked on one. They did Big Ass Spider in Pakistan, and they're doing some great work there. I mean, I think every country in the world's going to have an effects house at this point. But I think it's probably, look, like you say, it's not a good look. It is a little worrisome, but remember, the general audiences don't pay attention to release date changes, really. They're just like, well, when the trailer is being shown and the movie's going to come out, we'll go see it. How long did Top Gun 2 Maverick get delayed? So I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. I mean, for us, it is.
It's not a good thing.
It's especially Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
I mean, Warner Brothers, on one hand, well, okay, we're going to release Evil Dead Rises to the theaters. Well, that's good. But is Flash even a real movie? We don't know. I mean, remember when how many directors were going through that? So I don't know. I mean, I just want good movies.
By the way, it's a couple things I want to touch on here. One is this pure pulling it out of my ass speculation. I think within the next 2 weeks, we get an announcement that Flash is moving to December this year. Now that it's vacated, now that that's gone, now that's an open spot there, I think they can take Flash and move it up and drop it in that date. Again, don't quote me on that because I have not based that on any real information whatsoever.
Quoted.
Although that film's been done for a while, so it might not. But on the other hand, maybe part of the reason they did push it to June of next year is because of effects.
I mean, that's another possibility here.
In which case, it wouldn't be done anyway.
The other thing is there's a bullshit rumor going around. So I think it was either Variety or the Hollywood Reporter.
Hollywood Reporter.
Or the Hollywood Reporter?
With the marketing budget?
Yeah. So one of the writers of an article in the Hollywood Reporter speculated.
Right.
Speculated. Speculated, saying it could be that, there's a scenario where maybe Warner Brothers didn't have the money to release the movie this year. Okay. Number one, then people took that and ran with, Hollywood Reporter is reporting that Warner Brothers doesn't have the money. That is not what Hollywood Reporter said, number one, but everybody took that and ran with it as headlines. Number two, how stupid do you have to be to actually believe that? Because marketing budgets are big, but marketing budgets are not the kind of money you spend on making the movies. Whereas you can make a $200 million movie, you probably spend $50 to $60 million on marketing it. Every once in a while, you get an Endgame where Marvel spent what on Endgame? Like $175 million on that, but that is very, very rare. That's very rare that they spend that much. So no, you got to be all kinds of dumb to believe that, they moved it because they don't have the money to market it. No. No. And that is not what the Hollywood Reporter said. If you actually read what they wrote, it was more of a speculative kind of stab. It wasn't that we can report that we spoke to Warner Brothers and they have let us know, well, we just don't have the money to release it right now. Come on, guys. It's not what they said. Anyway.
No,
this goes back to CinemaCon when James Wan actually kind of, I guess, laid the groundwork that we might have to, and I totally forgot about it, that we might.
And he's telling that to exhibitors.
And he was telling that to exhibitors. So, I mean, that's the case here. Look, I'm trying to look at it on a bright side. Yes, now Aquaman gets to have a Christmas release like the first one did, but it will mean it will have 5 years.
Isn't that crazy?
In between when the first Aquaman movie came out and the second Aquaman movie came out. And man, that's again, it's just not a good look. It's just not a good look. I get it. I understand it. I understand the logistics of it, all of it. But I just think at this point with a movie that had been delayed this much already, that, okay, you can't have it ready by March, fine. Give the effects houses a couple more months, release it in August, release it in late July. Like 3 extra months can be a world of time. I get it. December is the better release date for it because of the results the first one had. I understand that, but this movie's already been delayed so many times. I just don't see. But again, I think the big winner out of this is probably Shazam. Again, I don't think it would have had any big problems going against Avatar because, again, there's just so many people going to the movies. But listen, if you can either choose to have your movie open against Avatar or to not have it open against Avatar, you choose to have it not open against Avatar. They're going to have the IMAX screens now. So I think David Sandberg is probably the guy who comes out of this probably smelling like roses the most.
Agreed.
But there is one other part of the story that we haven't discussed yet. The fact that the Flash delay created a scenario where, well, wait a minute, Flash was supposed to come out before Aquaman. And now it's coming out after Aquaman. And then we saw moving pieces. Now we see that Aquaman, nope, it's gone back to the original, I guess, series of events. Now Flash will come out before Aquaman comes out. Do you think that played any part of this decision, or is it strictly a production issue?
No, I think I really do think it's a production issue. I really think that Aquaman, they probably looked at it, that it was untenable, that it could ever possibly come out. As a matter of fact, I'll bet you they're going to be, I bet James Wan is breathing a sigh of relief because they can refine the film. There's probably so many effects that you want to give people time to actually do them. And now I think he can be like, great, we're okay. Remember, I mean, this adds a lot of money to a budget of a film too.
Yeah.
When there's a delay like that and you're working, it's not like we don't have to keep paying you people and keep you on payroll. They do. So I would imagine that it'd be interesting to see, I have no idea what the budget is, but how does that increase the actual production budget of a film?
And as you were always pointing out, the more you delay a film, you're paying interest on the money you have wrapped up in it. So it gets expensive. All right, guys, question is for you. Another day, another DC delay. We are now going to get Aquaman 2, 5 years. 5 years. after Aquaman 1, which I think we all pretty much enjoyed and thought was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Loved it. I thought it was really good. So what do you think about that? The logistics aside, the whatever, maybe this all works out really great for Shazam. I don't know, but I don't know. 5 years. Whatever you guys think about this, jump down into the comment section below and leave your thoughts there.